Okay, so today or this week we are looking at ice and water, and so I'm going to do a similar experiment to the one with the colors. Which color will melt ice the fastest? We're going to do what kind of materials will or substances will melt ice the fastest. So by this I mean we're going to take some different things like salt, sugar. I'm going to do water and vinegar. You guys can pick different substances that are in your house. And we're gonna see how it affects how ice melts with those put on top of it, around it, whatever. And then I'm gonna compare it to a control as well. So a control is, we've talked about this in science lab before, but control is basically what would happen naturally. So we're just gonna take ice and put it next to the other experiments and see how it melts. So that would be like if I just left it out in whatever temperature it is. And so we can see if the substances actually melt ice faster than it normally would or slower than it normally would. So it kind of helps us compare our data and our
So this data sheet is also very similar to the one that we did with the color melting. And so the only difference is here you'd add what materials you're going to use. So I'm going to use water, salt, sugar, vinegar, and then I added my control as well, so just the ice. And then I put my prediction, which one will melt ice the fastest. I said vinegar because I've seen what vinegar and baking soda can do. And then I picked water, salt, sugar, and then salt, my control, and then I thought sugar would actually melt it slower. So from here we'll set up our experiment. And so this is sugar, salt, vinegar, water. I had to smell it, and then I just did two controls kind of to make it even. I'm going to take it outside just to see, but you can already tell that this one is actually, the salt is melting. Okay, so these were my actual results that I got. So the water did melt it the fastest, and then the vinegar. So the two liquids melted it the fastest, and then it was salt, and then just regular ice melted. So the sugar melted slower than the actual, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I was really surprised with the results because typically salt lowers the temperature of that salt in the ice, and so it actually will melt the ice faster because the ice is at a lower temperature. So in the contrast with the heat of the regular air, it's supposed to melt it faster. So I was really interested that the water and the vinegar melted it the quickest. Maybe because it was completely around the ice since it was a liquid compared to just on the top and the bottom. So I'd be interested if you put the salt and the water into a water solution and then kind of mix it up and then saw how it would melt. So I'm really interested to see how your results compare to mine, what you use, how you used it, and then did anything go differently.